This is the Choppin' It Up show brought to you by the Marching Podcast and Blog Talk Radio. And now, here's your host, the Phantom Podcaster himself, Joe Beard.
All right, good evening, and thank God for my unconquerable soul. Welcome to the Choppin' It Up show. I'm your host, Joe Beard, and happy to be of service for you tonight. Today is November 24th, 2015, 6 o'clock on the West Coast and 9 o'clock on the East Coast. We appreciate all those listening in live, whether in podcast form, whether through iTunes, Blog Talk Radio, our website, Twitter, Facebook, or wherever you are on the interwebs this evening. At the end of the broadcast, if you decide you like the show, then we appreciate a donation to the network if you feel so in your heart, of course. Just simply go to themarchingpodcast.com and click on the donate button to help improve the show and help build our scholarship fund. All right? Thank you very much. Welcome to the show tonight. This is our season finale to the Choppin' It Up show. So I want to thank everyone who's listening and everyone who's participated, if you will, in the Choppin' It Up season this year. Really excited about the interviews that we have done and excited about the interviews that we have coming along in the future. We got a link coming out and going out to folks, and we're making more contacts. And essentially we'll be, touching base with everyone that we already know. But definitely the ball is rolling. And, of course, all of us have real jobs, full-time jobs, so it's hard touching base with everyone. But thanks to all the people that agreed to do the interviews, all the people that are like, sure. And even shout out to you if I haven't asked you yet. I know that you will. And you probably know I will, again, especially if I march with you in the boom, and we see that you're doing well in the world. Definitely the story to tell all the youth out there. So again, to make a positive image and influence. So thanks again. Love the Choppin' It Up show. It's really important, especially with all the things going on in our major cities. I definitely believe that this podcast and other things like it, adults like ourselves going into these communities or going into neighborhoods with projects and programs to uplift ourselves is essential, and it's very, very important. So I'm definitely down for the cause, and thank you for being down with me, and thanks for those who are listening anyway. We really appreciate your support. All right? So getting right into our show tonight. This is the season finale of the Choppin' It Up show. We'll be back in March of 2016 to kick off the new season of Choppin' It Up, if you will. And again, it will conclude in August. Won't be this late here in November, but finally got our programming strict. We got our 4 shows together here on the Marching Podcast Network, so we're going to stick to that and then definitely have our thumbs up for the future. So, again, thanks for listening tonight. And if, again, you're interested in becoming a patron or a sponsor to the Marching Podcast, contact the show so we can start to pub your business using our platform. We'll play your commercial. We'll post your website on our blog, and we'll help send out your information through social media. So contact us so we can help to build your business, okay? So thanks again. Getting right into the show tonight without further ado, we are chopping it up with Ollie Liddell. We are in part 2 of the interview. Ollie basically told us where he was from, his influences growing up, the things that kind of shaped who he is today, different experiences, things that he's went through, being the son of a director's kid, if you will, very similar to a professional football coach or just a professional sports coach where, you're so many places for so long and then you move to an entirely different environment. And so now tonight he's going to get into more of his experiences there with the Boom, and then, of course, talking about one of the main headliners for all you 96 folks out there. Shout out to the class of 96. And for all the folks that marched there in the Boom in 96. And, shout out to all the folks at Alabama State. Shout out to the folks at Bama State that marched in 96. You know what I'm saying? We definitely going to be getting into that. And, rounding out the show, rounding out the year with, another good conversation there between two good folks. Again, two good friends and two double legacies. Again, our fathers marched in the best band in the land back in the day with the great Prof. William W. Davis at Savad. For all you folks there in the band room, may see that Savad there on your music. I won't give it away, but Savad, all right? Y'all know what I'm talking about. But again, William W. Davis, Prof. Again, my dad talked about him very, very heartily for years. And again, that was Dr. Liddell's band director. Now you got your two sons under Dr. Liddell marching there, and a lot of good memories as well. So we're here from the great class of 94 and all those things tonight. We're going to, of course, pay our dues to the wonderful sponsors to the network that help us improve the show and help provide more opportunities with our National Signing Day show coming this spring. Okay, so let's take the time to hear from those beloved folks. Tonight's show is brought to you by Liquid Effects Photography, Double Time Entertainment, The Edge One Productions, Block Band Music, and HBCUbands.com. Let's take the time to hear from them now. And I almost forgot. I'm almost slipping. I want to give a special shout out to I call him Sean Kemp, Deshaun Kemp or Danielle Deshaun. We will hear from this great trumpet player in the future. But shout out to him. I wanted to. He's talking about he owns a brewery. The Beer Makers. That's so easy to say, Beer Makers than brewery. But he owns Quake Brewing Company. And he's having a small business kickoff this Saturday. Pure Rock 94.7 and Quake Brewer Company. Brewer Company. Boy, I'm tearing it up. Brewer Company. Got them soup coolers, man. Sometimes you can't say certain words. But small business Saturday kickoff. All right? So he's put it out there online. Shouts out to all the folks. Barsh there in the band. I'm sure all you folks in Jackson State, he's invited you. Definitely interest yourself in going. If you can roll up to Anchorage, Alaska, make it. Roll up to Anchorage, Alaska. Roll up to 523 West Tudor Road, number 201 up there, Anchorage, Alaska. Talk some good beer. Talk about geography and how the sun is only hitting the certain levels of latitude where they are, so they don't have too much light going on right now. But definitely hit him up. Tickets are available. But again, my man Deshaun, Danielle Deshaun, Sean Kemp for all you folks that know him, belovedly again at Jackson State Sonic Boom. All you folks know Sean Kemp, but one of the greatest trumpet players, might be the greatest trumpet player I ever met. And I got some really, really good stories about him, just stuff I heard the brother doing. Just like, wow, how is that even possible, brother? You know what I'm saying? So you'll definitely hear from him in the future, but I definitely wanted to just give him a small shout out there. You guys check out that Pure Rock 94.7 and Quake Beer Making Company. I'm going to say Beer Making Company. Quake Beer Making Company. Shout out to you, brother. But you guys go check that out or just show him his love as well on social media if you can't roll up again to Alaska. Okay? So let's again take the time to hear from our beloved sponsors.
Hi, this is Thaddeus Dixon, crab of 1994 from that famous sonic boom of the South, class of 2000 from the Jackson State University. And guess what? You're chopping it up with the Marching Podcast Network.
Double Time Entertainment. Our passion is music and promoting HBCU marching bands as well as high school marching bands through high-quality movie videos and photos. We have worked with BET, Yamaha, Ludwig, Honda Motor Company, and been featured on CNN and Lifetime Network's series Bama State Style. We also help and orchestrate Battle of the Bands with marketing and promotions, and also became the official media team for the Queen City Battle of the Bands in Charlotte, North Carolina. Join Double Time Entertainment on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube, and now new on Periscope. Music lovers are noteworthy.
From photo shoots to graduation pictures, from probates to band footage, from pageants to yard shows, there's only one team you can count on, the Edge One Productions. Visit theedge1.com and trust me, you won't be disappointed.
Band directors, have you ever found yourselves in this situation? Showtime is quickly approaching. Your budget is quickly disappearing. Your music choices are narrowing. The equipment condition is wearing and your stress level is mounting. Stop what you're doing and contact Block Band Music and find out how we've got you. Check www.blockbandmusic.com, providing music, equipment, gear, and accessories to show style, core style, and traditional bands worldwide.
What if there was a Facebook for bands? Wait a minute, there is. Bandhead.org. Bandhead.org is a social network for HBCU show bands. You can create your own profile and post videos, photos, and comments on Bandhead.org. Need somewhere to post events, audition schedules, job postings? Check out Bandhead.org. Are you recruiting for talent? Go to Bandhead.org. Bandhead.org, a social network for bands.
What up, bandheads? Are you looking for a talk show about HBCU marching bands? Well, look no further than the 90 Degree Show, brought to you by the Marching Podcast. Every Sunday during the football season at 8 p.m. Eastern, we recap the most intriguing battles of the weekend and give you, the listener, an opportunity to voice your opinion on the battle by calling into the show and talking with our panelists. Are you ready for the only interactive show in the world for HBCU marching bands? Then check us out Sundays at 8 p.m. Eastern at blogtalkradio.com/marchingpodcast. The 90 Degree Show, the interactive HBCU band podcast show.
Hey, this is Kennedy, and you're listening to the Marching Podcast. Hi, this is Nessa. You're listening to the Marching Podcast.
All right, we're back. 718-664-6025. We can accept your calls here at the conclusion of the interview. Again, this is part 2 of our conversation with Ollie. We had part 1. You guys can go to our website, go wherever, our blog, to check out part 1. And now we'll conclude the season, if you will, with our last conversation with Ollie here. It's close to like 50 minutes, but the last couple of minutes I just kept it rolling, and I was listening to it. I was like, I don't have to edit this last part out, but we just ended the phone conversation at the end, so I just let those couple minutes roll, just for GP, you know what I'm saying? But again, thanks everyone for listening this year. It's definitely been my pleasure here to kick off another season of Chopping It Up show, but definitely looking forward to more and more interviews, making things better, and reaching more people. It's definitely been a positive outlook. Meeting people and then just rehashing old memories with folks, and also meeting and finding out things about people I didn't know. You know what I mean? I definitely try to reach out to the folks who had some type of impression on me, and definitely folks I marched in the band with. And I always pick up something that I didn't previously before. So this has, again, been a rewarding experience for me, and I hope it's been for you as well. Shout out to all the folks on the Fifth Quarter or anywhere else that said, they've been listening to these and laughed at some of the things we talked about, or just remembering those memories as well. And then, of course, my favorite is my man, John Lennard, out there, director of bands at Tuskegee, reminiscing and was on the field. Everybody's got a fam story. He was there for me and Christy's fam story. So, again, just a big love fest, y'all. And so shout out to you. We are definitely going to change the world, making a difference in places like Chicago, St. Louis, Baltimore, yada, yada, yada. Y'all know what I'm talking about. We making a difference here. We definitely believe it. So without further ado, let's chop it up with Ollie Liddell.
Hello, I think I actually accidentally pressed mute.
Okay, cool.
That was the problem.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
But like I said, Jackson State was always in the top tier of the choices. That was always going to be. Just so it's just the Dales in general, man. My uncles, my dad's brothers all went to Jackson State. Their children went to Jackson State. There's a Liddell thing, I guess. So when but that wasn't that was part of the pull to Jackson, the band. So we loved the band from early on. We were just big Jackson State band and Jackson State fans in general from early on, as far as I can remember. And so I finally, it was between I had scholarships to a lot of different places. Millsaps was a strong pull because I could play football, but I just lost the love of playing football. I love playing trombone. That's my first love. I love playing trombone. And USC, I was considering going out there, and it just, I don't know, just practical purposes. A lot of, I just said, let's go to Jackson State. That's what led me there.
That's cool. And so now you're at Jackson State and a really good crab class there, 94. Really special class, and as we definitely will be, talking to more folks from that class. What would you say was your most memorable experience your freshman year at Jackson State?
Band camp. Well, I don't know. There's so many, man. That's a hard.
Yeah.
Okay. We were just, I don't know what made why. It's just so many, the group of the musicians, man, just the players. Folks, everybody could play. And not just one or two. We had, so many. Me and the trombone section, and I consider myself a good player, but, man, I wasn't the loudest. I wasn't the best trombone player in that class. And people that were playing, we were all the best in the area. There were just so many good players. We had Amin from New Orleans could play his butt off. Eric Adams. It's just so. Jerry Shoulders, Jermaine Otis. It's just so many good players just in that trombone section. So I don't have to go to trumpet to the Derek and the Maurice and the Danny and Keon and just Zeke. It's just so many good players in that section. Every section of the band had really good players that came. It's just I don't know, serendipitous that we all chose to go to Jackson State at the same time or whatever. But it was just a monster of players, and just look at the section leaders that next year. It was just like, and that year that was a crab band. They used to call us the Super Crabs because because we had to do it. It was on us. Well, Jackson State would have fell apart. I mean, really, there was only. I'm serious. There was only about 20 to 30 upperclassmen in that band. The rest of that band was all freshmen.
You think I'm exaggerating? I'm dead serious.
Yeah.
It was only like 20, I want to say 30 upperclassmen. I know when we battled, and we were just enormous. It was a big crab class, and we were good. It wasn't just big with numbers. It was players, man. We had the mesh, the merge. I don't know. We didn't have a name for it back then.
No, we didn't. We did.
They called it morphed into what we call a merge now, but it's really just, hey man, we're gonna play this upperclassmen. They're gonna blow on us. We were intimidated, though. I never forget it. They came around that corner, man. They wore it. I tell you, it was good. They had a good upperclassmen, but I think the year before, they just cleaned the band out. A lot of folks were put out that band, and then folks were put out during band camp. So it was, that was a freshman band. And, just a crazy thing, they were 25 freshmen put out at the Chicago game. And they said, who still just beat that band, all these folks, if I start naming names, I'm leaving somebody that can play off. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We let this big band camp, just being up all night. We had no rest. And my section leader, we got in we would get in, midnight, 12:45, and you got to be up. Trombones, we had PT before the rest of the band. PT started at 6. Trombones, we had to be out there at 5:30 for PT. We had pre-PT. And I continued that on when I became one of the section leaders. I continued that. Me and Jermaine Otis, we continued that, and Robert Lampkin, we continued that. PT, pre-PT thing, and 5:30 in the morning out there at attention. I remember I actually fell asleep standing up. I didn't know that was humanly possible in band camp. Because we finished PT, I guess, about 5:50, 5:55, and so we just had to stay at attention till the rest of the band got there. And I fell asleep standing up. I fell asleep with my eyes open in just exhaustion, man, because you are nothing but marching, playing, exercising. Marching, playing, exercising. It was just a hard work. And the one thing I love about Jackson State, everybody in high school wasn't necessarily serious. Does that make sense? Everybody wasn't serious about band and music. And you get there, get to that boom, man, everybody's serious. Not just the upperclassmen were instilling it in us, but the freshmen in themselves. Hey, we wanted to be good. We wanted to live up to that legacy of the boom, and so everybody was serious. Everybody was practicing hard. Now, we had a few, folks that didn't quite make it past the wayside, and hey, it made sense. They weren't there. They didn't make it. They didn't last. That year, wow, you said one memory, I can't give you one. I give you some stories. I remember Chicago game. I remember we were like superstars, man. We were in Chicago. It was literally like we marched through the United Center. I don't think it was the United Center then. It was the old Chicago, the Bulls Stadium, the old arena before the United Center.
Wow.
We marched in there.
I hadn't even thought about that place in a minute.
Literally, it was people screaming. It was like you would thought we were Michael Jackson. It was like folks were just going crazy, grabbing us, pulling us. We played, watched around the place, played, did the game. Oh man, it was awesome. That was one of that experience. We got back to the hotel. It was literally 120 people waiting at us back at the hotel. I don't know. They thought we had parties. I don't know. Whatever.
So let me ask you right quick before you give me the next one. Was Chicago? And I always love to ask the folks. I think it's 94. Was that the year it was raining, and you guys came out, and you had the blue ponchos, and you marched to the Jackson State side, and you played the halftime show? Was that the Chicago game?
That was the Chicago game.
In 94.
We were on the bus for them. That's actually was the spark of the whole Alabama State mess. That game started the Alabama State little. I can tell you about that later, but that's what that game started. That was the start. Well, all that little tension between us and Alabama State started because of that game. At that game,
Really?
We were on, yes. That's going to take a little longer to start exactly how all that started, but that game we were there. We were on the bus for the first half. We kicked the halftime show on the sideline, I remember, because they wouldn't let us on the field. It was too wet, and then the Bears had a game the next day, so they wouldn't really let us on the field. But that game was they came. They were calling us. They were on the bus. They marched by. They were flipping us off, all kind of stuff. Just talking good cash stuff, for no reason. And okay, first off, to me, and really anybody, because we never played. I don't think we even played Alabama State for forever prior to that game. Alabama State just joined the SWAC in '91. Mm-hmm. So they didn't have a lot of. So I don't understand. I guess they just what they were talking noise, whatever. So they talk noise, folks there. We talk noise too. So that's one thing or the other. And so it was just a nice little piece. So then that spring, during SWAC tournament basketball, man, just they were talking cash, and we blew all the folks in the band. And so they were just talking. And so then that next fall, we played them again in '95 for the same Chicago game, same stuff. It was ugly. It was just ugly. Then in the spring, we saw them again. I don't know if we actually played them in the SWAC tournament, with girls or boys, whatever, but I know we ran into them, and it was the same little beef, them talking cash stuff. And during those times, man, you were there. The boom was like just like a gang almost. in this sense, that you mess with somebody in the boom, it's just repercussions.
Right.
Nice. Football team found out, that's how we worked. We were a brotherhood. It was a cute intro. You remember? You were there.
Yeah.
So I have to tell you what it was like. Maybe your listeners don't know, but we have a thing called we would. If you were in ranks, that means you are lined up. This is for non-band members or band members that may not know. You are in ranks. That means we're lined up, ready to march. Even if we're not marching, but definitely while we're marching, we're in line up in ranks. If someone tries to walk through the band, they are not allowed to. So you are instructed from day one of band camp. Do not let anyone break your ranks. Mm-hmm. So someone says, hey, you got to go around. Hey, you got to go around. Or we stop them going to, if they get, and if they get too far, they still didn't listen to, hey, you got to go around, you would physically remove them from your ranks.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it always, man, that 96 was the start. That's why let me back up. So several instances where folks were trying to break ranks even during a game, during practice while we marched to the field, and they took care of that. You know what I'm saying? They took care of that. You know what? Actually, 95 led to that. See, 95, we played Alabama State. Alabama State showed up to our first 3 games in 95, talking noise. Before we went to Chicago, I guess they weren't traveling, but they were in Memphis for the Tennessee State game. I want to say, whatever it was, first couple of games they were there, and there was this guy in 95, that the same guy that tried to break through tuba section, 3 straight games, he got beat up and arrested. He was drunk for 3 straight games. The same dude got arrested and beat down trying to go through the band. That Alabama State thing, that happened in 96, the year before you got to Jackson. Mm-hmm. There was now, so you had all this tension thing. I told you it started that fall of 94. So it was already tension there. These folks had talked cash noise all through the fall of 95, all through the spring of 96. So when I never forget, Jermaine Otis was we were on the same bus 5, Club Laboon, and we pulled up and we parked and we were just out there getting ready to get set up. And here comes Alabama State buses. They had parked their buses right beside ours. I never get Jermaine saying, man, it's a mistake. I never forget him saying that. Jermaine said, hey, man, this is a mistake. I said, I think you're right, dog. That doesn't sound like a smart idea. So now, so they put it in perspective. The football team beat Alabama State that year 40-0. We were SWAC champs and Black College national champs that year. 40-0, beat the living daylights out of them. the band, we blew these people back to whatever they came from. I mean, it was ugly. It was ugly. Oh, the halftime show, it was just, they were pathetic, which they usually are, halftime shows. They were, just loud and nasty and wrong. That's how I'm going to stay surrounded. Loud, nasty, and wrong. And they didn't have a book. So we, I'll never forget it, man. After they had left first, I mean, they didn't even have much of a book. They left first, and we took, and I never, WT was still in the stands. They, for some reason, we had came on the figure to march out, and WT was still in the stands. They were kicking like two cadences. We were like, man, Donald, come on, we're ready to eat, Right. Game over. They gone. I'll never forget this. Like, what is going on? So, I don't know if this is how long, I'm trying to put this in perspective, how long they had to exit the stadium and go get on their buses and leave. So he kicked out 2 or 3 cadences. We need to go.
Right.
We marched the long way out the stadium. Like, the way we went out, my point is we could have easily just marched right out under the tunnel and been gone. We marched all the way around and then back. And we got out the tunnel and got outside in the parking lot in Mobile, People's Memorial Stadium in Mobile. And they were there talking noise. These are sonic bees. and and we just, and never forget, they, as soon as they passed the drummers, man, I don't know, they tried to break through the ranks, and it was done. It was over.
Wow.
And a big fight ensued. It wasn't pretty, but there was not a single person in Jack State band hurt, but there was a lot of them hurt. And because, I mean, it was just simple. I mean, I'm honest, that was almost 20 years ago, and being honest, it wasn't all of their band members. It wasn't all of them paid the price.
Okay.
It was probably only about 10 or 15 of their band members that could have just got on the bus. But it was 10 or 15 of their band members got in. I never forget, there was a guy, the band director, I don't know his name, I'm mistake, but Pop told him, get your band back. Tell him to get the band back. He told him to get the band back,
Right.
And that band director said, F you.
Oh. Word? He
said
to Pop?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. So it wasn't pretty. And we marched off. We finally got, a series of the police was there, pepper spray. It was a mess. It was on Jay Leno. Jay Leno talked about it. It was on CNN. It was all over the place. Big stink.
Wow.
And like back in campus, they were calling us the Patlin Boom, all kind of crazy stuff. So that Monday, we got, we were band practice. We had a big section leader meeting, and section leader got together and was like, hey, man, because they thought that a lot of folks getting put out the band. Like, if they try to put us, we got to stand together, because we didn't start it. And so we came in there. Then my dad comes down. We are through warming up, and he says, all right, we had this big fight, and never forget it. I'm very, very disappointed in getting an altercation without a mistake. But I'm glad y'all won. Carry on. That was that was pretty much the end of it, because they really started it. I mean, it wasn't a whole band, but they started an altercation that was unnecessary. They got blue on. They got their football team. It was just, there's only so much you can take.
Right.
And from that point on, we've had, if you go to watch Jack St. Dan now, we've had intense security. See, before that game, before you got there, we only had one security guard or two, and they were only there for the J-Sets. Ever since then, now the band travels with, when you in the band travels with 10 security.
Yes. I thought that was just normal.
No, we didn't have security. Only security was just for J-Sets. Because, we didn't need it. We really didn't need it still, though. Because they took care of all incidents that went through. We would take care of that. But ever since then, it's been that way. I don't know if that's just a fond memory. That's an intense memory. That was your original question of, I guess, a fond memory. But that's something I remember from that 94 year that starts back incident that happened in 96.
Yeah, and it's funny because that memory for me, basically, I was like, well, I'm pretty much going to Jackson State. In my mind, when I saw y'all come out with the ponchos, you know what I'm saying, and you played, and I remember, I'm sure you remember, the trombones had, if you remember that music, y'all had like a feature part in one of the songs in that actual, and it was y'all were doing something, and it was a part where something, I guess the trombones were actually like coming out. I can't remember, but I remember thinking like, damn, that trombones was like raw on that part, like because that was the main thing. I guess the listeners don't understand, when you had the band on the sidelines like that, you heard all. I mean, that's like being in front of the band in the stands. You know what I'm saying? You don't get that on the field. So, and y'all were marching too. Like, y'all were marching. We were like, damn, they doing this on the sideline. I was like, I'll never forget how dope I thought that was. And it's crazy. You say that was like started the whole thing that happened in '96. You know, that's a trip, man.
I don't know. I don't remember much about that field show at all. I remember we did that field show again, or a variant of it, in South Carolina.
And
I think we played South Carolina State at the Palmetto Concert in Columbia, South Carolina. I think we did a similar show. I just don't remember exactly what we did in that field show.
Right.
The most memorable field shows were Homecoming and Alcorn. We did Tootsie Roll and Homecoming. Tootsie Roll remix for Alcorn. That was one of the really big fond memories. That was Alcorn. It was Stevie Mayer's last home game in '94. So it was the biggest in the record crowd at Florida Stadium. It's about 70,000 people in Florida Stadium for that game.
Right. So that's what's up, man. Because that actually wrote. Because I'm glad you told that story. Because that's really like, you know, a memory. What I'm thinking. I remember in '97, you know, when I talked to Fat Nasty, I was like, man, I remember we heard the tape of that band. But I remember now just being, you know, just heavily escorted, and you know that had something to do. And then of course folks talked about it, like people were talking about it, but it wasn't that much of a conversation where it affected the '97 folks. They was like, oh, they had a fight last year, and then of course we thought it was the whole band. Like you broke it down, it was some people trying to be smart, but that's what just I guess word on the street. It was just the whole band. Like, y'all were matched up against the whole band, you know what I mean?
Oh, no. It was us that's against the whole band, but their whole band didn't start it.
Right.
It was against the whole band. It just their the whole band wasn't sponsored. Some of their band was on the bus.
Right.
Some of their band was, you know, all of us were still marching. So this happened while we were marching. We were like, you know, in the series it stopped. And it was like, oh snap! It's going, you're used to the sound of series, but it stops. Hey, something happened, man. It's big. Don't kick down. It's big. So,
that's dope, man. That's pretty good, man. That's pretty good. We already let the cat out the bag. We already told him that you are a band director. So you graduated from Jackson State with a music education degree?
Actually, I didn't. I came to Jackson State, and I said I was going to major in chemistry.
That's right.
Jackson State. I was a music minor, and I took all those classes to be a music minor. It took me a while to graduate Jackson State. I was there for a while. I guess I was doing too much. I was just about doing too much in college. I had a lot of fun at college. And a lot of stuff. But when I was around my junior year, senior year, really, I realized I did not want to be a chemist. This is not what I wanted to do with my life. And I decided to take all the courses necessary to teach music. So even though I had my minor, I took additional courses so I can be certified, and so I can you get to pass the test and everything. And so I graduated. I actually worked 2 years. Well, more than that, after 11 years. 2006, I was probably like 30, 31. Whatever it was, I don't know how old I was in 2006, but when I first got out, I decided to work for this blues singer. I worked for Bell Waiters, just passed. I worked for Marvis for 2 years. I was actually his musical director actually I worked 2 years while I was teaching. I still worked for him in middle school. When I moved here to Memphis, it was a little difficult trying to be a high school band director and then work on the road with his schedule because he pretty much worked his schedule.
Right.
And so that's how that started. That's when I became a band director. And I haven't read it. Obviously, the pain is not kidding, but it's something I love doing, and I don't regret it for a second.
That's cool. That's cool. So it's interesting. So you went to Memphis, you say in 2006?
I started teaching in 2006. I went to Memphis in 2008. Kind of not really a long story. I was sitting in my office in 2007, and I was like, I don't know what it was. Someone told me they made more money in certain places. So I was like, I'm looking to see how much money they're making in different places. So I looked at Dallas Public School. I was like, wow, man, I was making $20,000 more teaching than I would at in the city, middle school. I was like, well, man, I'm going to move to Texas. So they had my principal. I told him I wasn't coming back. First I applied for jobs in Texas. Interviewed a job in Dallas. I can't remember the name of the school. If I look at some stuff, it'll probably come back to me. But I applied for the job. Interviewed 3 interviews. I got the job. Very happy. And she tells me, all you have to do is wait for your paperwork to come through State Park Education, and you're good to go. See, in Tennessee and Mississippi and most places, when you graduate, if you graduate college, you have to pass the test that you need to pass. You're certified to teach, even though you have not gotten the actual physical certificate from the State Farm Education. You're ready to go, and they'll let you.
Oh, okay.
Okay. That way, you have to have that paper in hand, or you are not going to teach the class. Well, across all the dotted all the I's, you're not teaching. Well, this is June past. It's getting into late July. I'm like, okay, I've already, turned down my contract. Mississippi contracts go from July to June. So at June 30th, you have to sign your contract or, let it go. So you're not coming back. So I already told him I wasn't coming back.
Mm-hmm.
Well, so I have no job. So let me go and just to be on the safe side and apply for some other places. I applied for school in Arkansas and several in Memphis, Shreveport, different places. I wasn't married at the time. I was ready for change of scenery. I was good, so I applied for this job in Memphis, East High School. Actually, Derek Hardaway taught there briefly. I didn't know it at the time.
Okay.
But I applied there, and he hired me. I'm still waiting on Texas to happen, and long story short, it didn't. It was August. I hadn't heard anything. I told the guy in Texas, I can't wait any longer. I have to go, get another job. He was telling me I can work as a sub for $500 a month.
Oh.
Yes, I'm like, man, I have to seek, employment elsewhere. I can't, $500 a month is not going to do anything for me. So I got the job at Tennessee, and it's been great ever since. I taught at East High for 4 years, and this is I'm starting my 4th year at Central High School now.
Okay. And man, so wow. Okay, so let me go back. You also Well, you know what? No, okay. So let me go here. There's two more things I want to ask you before I wrap up. So you are competing, or you also, I guess, every year, every high school band, I guess, part of the state and the district competition and stuff like that, right?
Yes.
You guys have been getting a couple superior ratings. Could you talk about the ratings that your band program has received since you've been there? I guess the coaching resume, so to speak.
Well, going back to East had not been to concert festival in 40 years prior to me getting there. I was the first band to take them to concert festival since that time. In my second year, I got my first superior rating. All superior ratings there at East. When I left there, we had some twos. East was a difficult situation, being that there's no feeder. So pretty much I was going around starting kids, hey, little boy, you want to be in a band kind of situation. And that's how, but I was able to still be successful there. I had kids making all this. Central is traditionally a better program. They're better feeders. It's a better situation. But I continue the success at Central. My started concert bands. We've had straight superior ratings in West Tennessee School Band Association since I arrived. My jazz bands have received all superior ratings at competitions. We've also been I'm one of the 12 finalists for it's a national jazz band competition called the Savannah Swing Central competition in Savannah, Georgia. We were one of 12 finalists for 2 straight years. We were finalists, and we're going to try to do it again this fall. Marching bands have been successful. I don't think as successful as I want them to be, but we've also received superior ratings. We've placed in competitions. We've not been winners in a lot of the competitions we've been at. We have it's difficult at Central, that part, because we do not have a practice field. We have a stadium beside the campus, but we get out there basically when the football team, because the football team doesn't have a place to practice either. So they have to practice on the stadium and basically kind of get in where you fit in. Hey, the football team done. Okay, run outside, hurry. So, and because of the stadium right there, they have high school games through the week. Soccer plays there, middle school plays there, and those games start at like 5:30. Football team leaves about 5 o'clock, so I have 30 minutes to get out there and run through the field. So the rest of the time, all we can do is work on music. So that's, I think if we had a practice field, I think we'd be more successful marching band wise, but we don't have a place to practice. But I think I'm very happy with the success. We had 21 students to make all West Tennessee band. I had 4 students to make all state band this past year. Hopefully we'll have more. I'm very pleased with the progress of the program itself at Central. A lot of kids going to Jackson State and other places. I don't discriminate in that sense. I do kind of push them. Hey, y'all should go to. I make sure I put it out there because this is my alma mater and it's a good program. So I want to send students to Jackson State. However, my biggest concern as an educator is that they go to college and they don't pay for it. That's my biggest goal as an educator, getting kids into school without paying for it. I want them to. So I have students at Jackson State. Right now I have a trumpet player. This is just in the band now. Trumpet player, trombone, got a bassoon player down there. I really not the boom, but he's at Jackson State.
Okay.
Saxophone player. And then this year coming, I'm going to have a trombone, 2 trumpets, 2 really good baritone players. I have percussionists down there. I sent a lot of students down there. I got students at University of Memphis, Tennessee Chat, University of Tennessee at Chattanooga, University of Tennessee at Knoxville, which most people know is not
Knoxville, yeah.
The volunteers. I have students at Middle Tennessee State, some at Talladega. I just want them in college. And sometimes, Jackson State's not the best place for everyone. Does that make sense?
Right.
It's the best place for me. It was the best place for me, especially for a lot of students. But some of my students that are weaker, I mean, I'm not going to be real with it. You know, if they're not ready to go to Jack State's not for you. And I'm not just you know, if you're not serious as you need to be, they'll eat you up, spit you out. They'll chew you up, spit you out, you know. And I want you, you know, if you're not serious about it, you probably need to go to Talladega or, you know, University of Memphis or somewhere else. That's maybe not, excuse me, that's maybe a different situation, you know. If you're not ready, Jack State is not the place for you. It's not going to work.
Well, I definitely want to get up with you because, you know, we started the National Signing Day for marching bands just this past year. So I'm definitely, you know, touching base with all the high school directors that I know so, you know, we can get some of their kids. And then each one of the kids selected for that show get a scholarship for, you know, to take them out. So we did the first one this year. I definitely have to send you the link for that one. And 2 kids actually picked Jackson State. One guy is the drum major from Nansemond River High School in Suffolk, Virginia. He's the drum major there. Yeah, he's going to Jackson State. I think he plays tenor sax. And then the other guy's from my own town, I believe Travis Johnson. I think he plays percussion. He's in Berkeley High School in North County in the actual Ferguson area out there in St. Louis. Yeah, so he's coming to Jackson State. And then the 2 girls were out here, 2 dance girls from Dominguez High School. They're going to Miles College. So, yeah, man, so I definitely will get up with you because I definitely want that. And then my next goal is to get a lot of these West Coast youth out to, you know, some of these historically black schools to either march. And like you say, you know, they may not pick Jackson State, but maybe they'll pick something else just to get out of Southern California and be around, you know, historically black colleges, you know.
I will say, I will tell, if I can tell them one thing, and I don't know if they're listening or just know, is college is what you make of it. College is definitely what you make of it. And if you go with the right mindset, you're going to get a lot out of it. I encourage, in this day and age, if you're not, message to all students out there that may be listening or just in this day and age, in 2015, you have to go to college to make it in this world. You know, to be a productive citizen, when me and you, Joe, we graduated high school, we know people that didn't go to college, but hey, they're making it. You know, they you know, they were able to have a family and maybe buy a house even, but they can make it and they'll survive and they'll have a prosperous, good life. You know, they maybe not be, you know, well off. Well, that day is over. That day is over. There are people with masters working at McDonald's. There are people, you know, you have to get that degree. Something. When you leave high school, there's something else. You have to listen to what the president is talking about. You leave high school, you need something else. To make it in this world, to be successful, to be able to raise a family and I tell my students all the time, man, you got to, when the decisions you make at 14, 15, and 16 are going to affect the kind of life, the car you drive, the kind of money you have at 25, 26, 27. So they don't take it for granted. And life goes, it's fast, it's fleeting, it's quick. You'll be out of high school in 20 minutes. You'll be adult in 30 minutes. You know, you'll be, you know, it goes by. I mean, I'll be 40 years old next year, and I mean, it's like I was in college yesterday. It seems like, you know. Yeah. Next year I'll be a 40-year-old man, and it seems like it's fleeting. So the decisions that these children, I mean, I was lucky enough to, you know, my parents helped me. They weren't necessarily the only influence. I have other family and friends that influenced my decisions, but I was lucky enough to have those people in life, and I just hope that the young people take the advice of the people around them and say, hey, man, this is your life right now. The decisions you make right now are going to impact your future. They'll determine the kind of car you drive, the kind of woman you're going to marry, the kind of, you know, everything.
Yeah, so, man.
Make good choices.
Yeah, that's outstanding because people said that to me, and it was like, this. But, you know, it definitely got more evident. And definitely now, I mean, I was so band heavy that, you know, I was going to Jackson State. I was pretty much going to march in the band. But man, that was more than 10 years ago now. Like, you know what I'm saying? That was a long time ago. But definitely it had to be something else. You know, I'm in the maps and stuff and other stuff now. But that's like the perfect segue into the end, because I always ask folks to end it out with the advice. But like you said, having something else is the perfect segue for the last thing I wanted to ask you about. You are still on your horn, from what I heard. Talked to the good brother Michael Cowens. Had a really good interview with him, really good story. And he was saying that you are still playing your horn. Could you let the listeners know about that?
Well, I told the listeners before, like I said, I played with Mel Waiters, Marvin C. I've also played with Bobby Bland, Bobby Rush, Sir Charles Jones. I actually made a scene with Parliament. Trombone was my first love. Band was not even. Trombone was, and I just, it's something I spent time and energy and money invested in, and I just, why would I stop doing that? Why would I stop playing something that I love? That's my psychiatrist, my trombone. When I'm feeling down or blue, I pick up my horn and it brings my spirits up. So I'm on my own. I encourage you to be a lifelong musician. Love it forever. That's another goal. Love music for the rest of the time you live, man, and be involved in it. Just do it. You know, I practice when I can. I'm like Mr. Adams. You can say what he does worst on trombone is practice, and I think I'm in that ballpark right now. I don't have time to practice like I want to. You know, I'm working with a PhD. I'm a full-time band director. I'm a father. I'm a husband, and it's not easy. But when I do try to make time to practice when I can, just not to my standards of practicing. You know. And but yeah, man, I play with a guy named Kenny Wayne. He's a blues singer. I don't play with him all the time because it's just schedules don't always permit. But I've been playing on and off of him for about two and a half years now. But I'll pick up other gigs, big band. I play, you know, I'm a jazz guy. I play the jazz band at Jackson State, which is it's a phenomenal. It has been and still is a phenomenal group. So. Like you watch with Darryl Reeves, these are professional jazz musicians that we were in the band with, and you know, and so that influenced me a lot, and so that's actually my connections with jazz band and Jack State got me playing on the road in the first place. Robert Lampkin, he couldn't do, it was with Mel Waiters, he couldn't do, and he said, hey man, call this guy, do the gig. So I called the guy, and that's how I got started playing on the road for real. I played little gigs here and there around town. And you remember the Snooty Fox?
Yeah.
You know, but there wasn't much little local stuff here and there, and it was really that gig there really propelled me to play with other folks. And it's almost like I've lived another life on the road and in so, but it's still the love of that horn. It's the greatest feeling in the world. Being on stage, someone's paying you to play an instrument. I mean, it's awesome feeling to me. That's it. Just so they're paying me for the right to play a horn. That's awesome. So that's something I will always do if I can. Church somewhere, I'm going to play that trombone. And my advice is to practice, stay on your horn. That instrument can be a vocation and education. So always don't stop playing, don't stop practicing, and you know, great things will happen.
Well, that's what's up, man. That's pretty much the end of the interview. I always say, you know, we get the end of the interview, you have any advice, but we pretty much had the full circle, man. I sure appreciate your time, and it was good to catch up with you again. I know I'm going to try to hit your dad up as well. I did an interview with Mr. Magruder, and I hit up Mr. Adams, so I know that I want to hit up your dad. Where's Pop? Where is Mr. Duplessis? You know where he is?
Still, you know, he's retired, still in Mississippi, out in Florence, south of Jackson.
Okay. So he's somewhat close.
You didn't march with Chelsea, did you? His daughter's a band director. Duplessis is that's a band family. His son's band director, his daughter's band director. His son used to be band director Valley. Son's a Sonny Boom guy. Duplessis was So, you know.
Yeah.
That's band royalty right there.
Yeah.
But you know, check with Chelsea. Her real name, she's married Buckhalter now. She's not Duplessis anymore, but she's been at Brookhaven, Mississippi. She get with her. Me and Chelsea talked a lot. Obviously, we were band directors' kids, so we saw out a lot. Still do see out a lot of stuff. How I'd like to be a band director kid, man, and especially legendary band director kids. So
yeah, man.
Yeah. But get up with the Pop, man. Pop is still around. That would be a great interview, man. That would be a great interview.
Yeah,
There's a lot of history.
Yeah, I want to touch base with him and all of those folks. But yeah, that's basically, you know, how I'm getting the network, how, you know, I'm rolling along, touching base, and hopefully, you know, we'll start generating some scholarships and start, you know, populating these schools or whatever. So, again, man, I sure appreciate your time. This is a really good interview, man. And of course, a lot longer than what I was expecting. Just this second part was 40-some minutes. So,
well, chop it up what you need.
Yeah, man. Well, I'll definitely let you know on Facebook. I'll shoot you a text when we do when I play the interview. But it'll be before marching season. It'll be this summer. But okay. I think I may do one more, and then I'm done until we do the 90 Degree Show, which is, you know, the Skip and Stephen A. and marching bands in the fall. Okay. So.
Okay, man. How's it going, man? How are you doing? Just what gave you the idea to interview you for a second, brother? How did you get the idea to do this podcast, man? And how's it going, both financially and just everything? Tell me about it.
It's going pretty good. You know, the financial part, you know, I'm letting that come on its own. You know, I got 4 sponsors: Gerard Howard with bandhead.org. And I met a guy, Block Band Music and Publishing, Rashad Waters. He's out in North Carolina. He basically is like the one-stop shop for directors and show-style music with gloves, spats, and he'll design the shows. He writes the music. So it's catered towards you and, you know, to get, you know, the best performance and all of that. So he sponsors the network. Then Southern's videographer guy, I met him. I can't remember where I met him specifically, but I met him on, you know what, I was watching some of his videos. He was just at Southern, taping Southern videos, and then when I started doing the show, I was watching a lot of his videos, the Edge One, Garrett Edgerson. So I started sponsoring him. Like, I just started, like, so he could use my domain space. He could, like, upload, like, videos, and, you know, he could have his own website. And then he's been doing so well with that he's been basically promoted to, like, their audio person there for the band. Okay. And so he sponsors the network. So financially, that part is coming along. But, you know, just like your experiences growing up, if you came out here to California, you'll be like, damn, what exactly are half these people doing? Like, y'all don't know about no band? Like, y'all ain't got no band around here? Like, that's basically how it came out.
California drastically cut their education funding. That's why band is so down there.
Man.
Talk to Asia. You remember Asia Muhammad?
Asia Muhammad?
She should be a crowd singer, isn't it? No, she's 95.
Oh, did she play clarinet?
Yeah. Asian taught out there for a while. See, there's some schools in California where them kids have to pay like $1,500 a semester just to be in a band.
Oh my goodness! Oh wow.
Yep. Like it's not funded the way it is in the South.
Oh yeah.
Because this is in the mid to late '80s, they just slashed the budget for education in California drastically.
Well, you can tell.
That's why. Now, there are some schools that suffer. They core style, and then they're rich, Orange County, rich, affluent areas.
Yeah, and then there's 6 schools in the state that claim to, you know, be show style or whatever, and they're all in the Compton district.
In the whole state?
In the state, right. And they're all in the Compton district.
Okay.
Yep, all down here. So, and then of course they all know each other. Lolita Carter, Harold Hutchison, and then I got.
Is he related to Grambling Hutchison?
Yes, that's him. And then one guy, Al Tarver, I met him. He went to Alabama State, and I wonder. I forget asking him his age. He may be a little bit older than us, but he went to Alabama State. He's a head band director at Crenshaw High School. Okay. And so he sends a lot. He said he sends a lot of folks out there, or he sent maybe some folks to Alabama State. But yeah, man, trying to just coordinate with them and try to just build and try to give these kids a lot of the excitement. So they, like you said, we wasn't really tripping about if we were going to college. It was more like where you were going to college, where you were going to march, where you were going to pledge. I'm trying to bring more of that to more of these youth out here in California because I think they need it. You know what I'm saying? Other than hooping and entertainment out here, people ain't really talking about going to college of any color out this joint. You know what I'm saying? It's straight up different out here.
It's such a big state. So that's a lot of African American and Latino as well.
Yeah,
they could be doing something there.
They could be doing something. That's what I'm saying. So I really want to, because the Latinos are affected as well. A lot of them kids they ain't think about college. You know what I'm saying? Not even in the least bit. So I definitely want to. I got a couple of my band.
I got a couple of my band right there. The Hardaway does too. They got a little trumpet player. He's cranking up too, man. He's gonna be straight. Maurice working with him.
Oh, okay, cool.
Maurice has
been on the show.
Maurice be everywhere, so he in Memphis for a minute, and he working with. He don't have my trumpet. I was talking about he helped me with that trumpet, and he hit my trumpet. Well, that's low down right there. So, he's going to get him together, man. Start up on July 6th. Man, and back at it.
Well, that's what's up, man. Well, I sure appreciate your time. Like I said, man, I keep you posted and just, how things going. And definitely, I know that I'm going to hook up with Mr. Adams, and I talked to, Dr. Magruder. I want to bring something out here to the area, whether it's like the band consortium or a band camp and a mass band. I think they're putting a mass band together now out here in the Southern California, but that's what I'm trying to do. So I keep you posted, and eventually it'll be some type of excuse, to have some big banquet out here every year. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Well, let me know, man.
Well, I definitely will, man. I definitely want to get up with you for the National Signing Day show too. I think that'll work out pretty good.
I got a lot of kids. I'm pushing them that way, man. I ain't playing around with it. I'm gonna tell you something else that I hope we keep that through the court, right?
Say what now?
We're through with the interview and all that stuff, right?
Yeah. We through with the interview, yeah. All right, we're back. Thanks again for listening. Really good catching up with Ollie and having a good interview. Breaking a lot of things down for me. And, again, it was really good catching up with him. Again, if you're interested in becoming a sponsor or a patron to the Marching Podcast, please contact the show. We'll give you the criteria so we can start to put up your business using our platform. We'll play your commercial. We'll post your website on our blog, and we'll help send out your information through social media. So contact us so we can help build your business, okay? All right, we're going to go ahead and play the next commercial break to hear from our sponsors. And again, if you want to call in and say something about Ollie, you're welcome to do so. 718-664-6025. You're chopping it up here on the Marching Podcast Network. In the conclusion of our 2015 season here with Ollie Liddell. Again, if you want to call in and say something, we'll do that as well. But we'll go ahead and play our last little interview bit before our season ending. And again, we'll be back with chopping it up here in the early spring 2016. So let's hear from our sponsors one last time.
Hi, this is David McFadden, Jackson State University graduate, Sonic Boom, Trump Funk, Fab 97. You are listening to Chopping It Up here on the Martian Podcast Network.
Double Time Entertainment. Our passion is music and promoting HBCU marching bands as well as high school marching bands through high-quality movie videos and photos. We have worked with BET, Yamaha, Ludwig, Honda Motor Company, and been featured on CNN and Lifetime Network's series Bama State Style. We also help and orchestrate Battle of the Bands with marketing and promotions, and also became the official media team for the Queen City Battle of the Bands in Charlotte, North Carolina. Join Double Time Entertainment on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube, and now new on Periscope. Music lovers are noteworthy.
Need to write music and drill? Get it on the field. Outfit your band. Keep your administrator happy and still have a life. Encountering drama in the process, ain't nobody got time for that. Let Block Band Music assist you with musical arrangements and drills to fit your band, and also the equipment, gear, and accessories to keep the visuals, music, and marching on point. Contact blockbandmusic@gmail.com and see how this worldwide minority-owned business can uplift your band.
What up, bandheads? Are you looking for a talk show about HBCU marching bands? Well, look no further than the 90-Degree Show, brought to you by the Marching Podcast. Every Sunday during the football season at 8 p.m. Eastern, we recap the most intriguing battles of the weekend and give you, the listener, an opportunity to voice your opinion on the battle by calling into the show and talking with our panelists. Are you ready for the only interactive show in the world for HBCU marching bands? Then check us out Sundays at 8 p.m. Eastern at blogtalkradio.com/marchingpodcast. The 90-Degree Show, the interactive HBCU band podcast show.
What if there was a Facebook for bands? Wait a minute, there is. Bandhead.org. Bandhead.org is a social network for HBCU show bands. You can create your own profile and post videos, photos, and comments on Bandhead.org. Need somewhere to post events, audition schedules, job postings? Check out Bandhead.org. Are you recruiting for talent? Go to Bandhead.org. Bandhead.org, a social network for bands.
From photo shoots to graduation pictures, from probates to band footage, from pageants to yard shows, there's only one team you can count on, the Edge One Productions. Visit theedge1.com and trust me, you won't be disappointed.
Hey, this is Danielle Deshawn Kemp, owner and founder of Quake Brewing Company out of Anchorage, Alaska. And you're chopping it up here on the Marching Podcast Network.
All right, man. Right. That was perfect, man. I definitely can use that for both. So, oh yeah, look, I'm didn't even make sure I did. It's me. It's me. It's live. I had a little snag right there. I didn't know I had to do some editing, y'all. Oh, hey, we're back. Again, thanks for listening. I wanted to give a shout out. You heard Danielle Deshawn Kemp there at the end. He has his kickoff. I want to open up and give him a little bit more shine. You guys check it out. If you are rolling up to Alaska, or if you are already in Alaska chilling, you know what I mean, doing your thing, you can go ahead and hit up Danielle and Quake Brewing Company. You guys check out him. He's actually got a little thing going on with looks like the radio station there in town, Pure Rock 94.7, Saturday, November 28th, 12 o'clock noon until 5 o'clock, Alaska time, AKST. I guess that's Alaska Standard. Okay, and that would be, it'd be different, everybody. I'm in Pacific. And then depending on where you guys are tonight. But you guys check out Quake Brewing Company. You can actually go on Facebook and like Quake Brewing Company, especially if you can't roll up to Alaska. Shout out to Trump Funk, Danielle Deshaun Kemp again. Shout out to him. But yeah, shout out to you. But for the Thanksgiving holiday, I want to say, I guess, happy Thanksgiving to everyone. I don't see anyone in the call queue, so we can probably go ahead and end the show out. But we want to thank everyone. I'm thankful for you. Anybody actually listening that has checked out any of our broadcasts, I'm actually thankful for you. Thankful that people are actually checking out the show and we're making a difference maybe in like 2 or 3 people's lives. But we'll definitely keep pushing forward. So shout out to you. Shout out to everyone listening. Shout out to all the support. Thanks again for everything. All right? And we will keep it pushing. We will have some great new interviews for you guys in the spring of 2016. Be safe. Check out the 90 Degree Show this weekend. We're getting to the end of the season. We only got about like three weeks left, maybe 4 weeks left, if you will. But check us out every Sunday, 5 o'clock Pacific, 8 o'clock Eastern on the 90 Degree Show. And thanks again for listening. I think if you guys are already interested in becoming a sponsor or a patron, contact us and we can start to pub your business using our platform. But it looks like that's all the time we have for tonight. But be safe, be careful over the holiday weekend, and have a good holiday weekend. Definitely unwind, and make sure you unwind. Tell folks you love them. You know, Christy brought up in the 90 Degree Show about our mortality, and now we're getting up there in our age. A lot of our parents, some of our parents have passed. R.I.P. to my own father as well, losing him in January this year. Make sure you tell folks you love them and just say, hey, I'm thankful for you, and, you know, the holiday season, at least just be nice. And that's just how it is, all right? That's all the time we have for tonight. Thanks to Ollie. Thanks to everyone that we interviewed this year. Thanks to all the people we will be interviewing in the upcoming year. And thanks to all you for listening. Check out the website, donate what's in your heart to themarchingpodcast.com. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter. Thanks to you for listening. And remember, the eye is a better pupil. I got to remember, but you got to say it right. The eye is a better pupil and more willing than the ear. Advice may be misleading, but examples are always clear. See you in 2016.